If you're not here online, yeah, we have come back to part 2. The morning before break, we were discussing. We actually are doing preview for the last weekend. Now we are going to do comprehension skills. Inconvenience, somebody call, please. Inconvenience, somebody call, please don't call me. You are disorganizing me. Let me first finish this lecture, and then I will come back to you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't call for the next 30 minutes. Let us concentrate here. Hope everybody is here now. I've given you here, everybody. Let us dive deeper reading and comprehension. Maybe you know how to read. Actually, almost everybody knows how to read. But let us look at what the ministry gave us, National Council for Higher Education, what they set for us. Reading and comprehension. What are the components of reading and comprehension? What do they? There are 6 components of reading and comprehension. They had given us about 2 subtopics, but before we go to subtopics, I want to give you this of reading and comprehension. There's active reading strategies. They have given us 2. The 3-pass approach, then the annotation techniques. But before we come to that, I think we might discuss that one in the evening. But before we come to that, let us look at the parts of reading and comprehension. I was in primary. I was in Kauku boarding school in Mukono district. People who know that place, that school is a very powerful school. So we used to be with the students who are coming from, pupils by then, who are coming from Kampala City, Mukono, Kayunga, those rich parents. So on visiting day, vehicles could come to visit their children, motorcycles. My father was coming on a bicycle. So I was very inferior, and I knew I was nothing, valueless. So I could read very well. I could write English very well, but I couldn't speak it. Because I was coming from very poor background, very deep in the village, moving on foot. Actually, we are studying barefoot. So I was so inferior, I thought I could not read with my mouth, but I was reading inside and writing correct, very correct English. But I was fearing, always in the class I couldn't talk. I couldn't stand for any post of prefectship. So sometimes the reading skills can be inside or outside. Well, some people cannot speak in public because they are shy. They feel inferior. They feel like they're going to make mistakes. They think what they know is wrong or is inferior, or people are going to laugh at them because they cannot be recognized because of poverty. There are so many reasons which make you inferior, and they interfere with your reading skills or your communication skills or these skills of language. So we're going to dive deeper into all of this, God giving us the time. Hello? Yeah. So identifying, the 3-pass approach and annotation technique, we shall look at them in the evening. But for now, let us look at this. Oh, sorry for the interruptions. Hope everybody's here. You send me hi in the comment section if you are here. In the past lesson, we have left so many people. You just got the recording. But for now, I want people to be here, please. You send in a comment. You say hi, Clem. Say that I can believe you are here. It's not good to leave people and then even if you listen to the recordings, it will be cold. Cold food is not good. People, we need hot food or warm food for our digestion. Yeah. So let us dive into these 6, okay, there are 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 parts of reading skills. We have what we call decoding. Decoding, from the word recording. When I'm reading, like now, I'm reading somewhere, I have to first put it in my brain or write it somewhere on the chalkboard of my brain before I speak it out. Some people speak before they decode. That is very wrong, because you have to first understand what you are speaking before you speak it. Some people don't decode. It is very important to decode before you read it out. Then fluency. I don't know that you have realized it. People from the villages, our was always poor. But people from the towns, their accents are different. People who are coming from America, they are different. That's why they say American accent, English accent, African accent. One time I was preaching, and a friend of mine from South Africa brought some of people told her, "We are not understanding this woman." Then she told them, "You people be patient. That is Ugandan accent. Ugandan accent is different. When you speak, I can know whether you are Rwandese accent, Mbarara, Ankole accent, Northern Uganda accent, any accent which is foreign to you, you think is the best accent. But since we are not coming from England, we have our background languages in whatever we speak. Luganda, but when we're in Musoga, using your accent, I can know that this is the Musoga speaking Luganda. So even when you are speaking English, I can know that this is a Muganda speaking English, only that you have to reduce your background language as much as possible. Don't make us get irritated because we don't know B. So the fluence is very important. In Uganda, we say you are speaking from the nose. You are fluent, command of the language. There is no way you can command the language when you are not speaking it. Somebody from the market, or when a market is selling clothes, they say, tomorrow you are sitting an exam. How are you? Are you fluent in the language, whether written or spoken? You can't be fluent before you practice. Even if we teach you 1,000 times, you have to speak the language, whichever language, be fluent in it. I've been in Bunyoro for now 10 years. I understand almost every word. Okay, let me say more than 50% of the words we use. People use in Bunyoro, but I can't speak it fluently. So I fear to annoy people. That's why the fluence, how the language flows in your speech is very, very important. Oh God. I don't want to go beyond 30 minutes. I know people are getting tired. Some of you are teachers already. You are teaching in primary schools or secondary schools. But you speak Luganda. Can you imagine? Some people speak their local language in offices. In primary, they used to cane us to speak English. We saw, but they are training us to speak the language. Why? Because everything is in English. Our mother tongue is good and important. We love it, we use it. But when it comes to office, we have to use English. You have to learn English by force. And you have to polish your language as much as possible. We used to dig when I was in the village. You have to first dig, you slash, you plow, then you have to go and polish the garden. You re-plow, and then you pick the grasses, the stones, and everything, depending on the crop you're going to plant. So even in reading or in speaking English, there is a polishing. Each class or each lecture helps you to polish the language. Now, we as teachers, and I thank God almost all of you people who are in this class are teachers, you need to polish your language, your reading skills as much as possible so that learners learn from you. Because they learn what you teach them, but they learn more so by copying from you. For example, somebody can call Bachelor of Law, then it tells you Law. That is Western Uganda accent. Bachelor of Law. Replacing L with R. R is R, L is L. So you practice. There is no way you can learn how to drive a vehicle if you have not touched the steering. So even language, you have to practice reading. People don't want to read, my friend. They think reading is very hard, but there's no way you can do away with reading. I know students in secondary school, most of them, over 90%, don't want to do education. Why? Hey, I'm tired of books. I want to go for football. I want to go everywhere. As long as there is office work, we must read and write. And reading and writing, they are brothers and sisters. You can't separate them, my brothers and sisters. But enjoy it. But if you practice, there's time you can. Let me give you an example. You can board a taxi, not border. You tell them I'm going to share. A border man who has been on that street for over 10 years will take you to Starbucks. I told you share. I didn't tell you I'm coming to buy fuel, but I want to be dropped at share. They don't differentiate between share, Starbucks. Why? Because you're here to read. Not because you don't have money for paying. I know some people want to print, you don't want to read. I put tables on the Universal Bursary Scheme project. Functional fees table, application fees table. People still ask you, Kiremi, how much is application fees? They want the audio. You people, you have to read. There is no profession where you're not supposed to read. Actually, what is making us Africans even poor, one of the reasons is not wanting to read. Like now you have touched that paper money, 1,000 note, 50,000 note, but you don't know what is on that paper. Why? You don't want to read. You are lazy. I don't know why. We are lazy in reading, even those people who know how to read. The source of almost all of the religions we have is because we don't want to read. We don't read the Bible. People get shocked to see verses. Some people can even buy the Bible and put the Bible under their pillows. But reading is very hard. I thank God who gave me the opportunity of reading the Bible, almost the whole of it, when I was in primary 5. Primary 5. Because I was inferior, as I've told you, people don't want poor children. What will you give them? And even me, by nature, I didn't want to beg. Up to now, I don't want to beg. I want to be independent, and yet I was poor. I couldn't keep anything. So God gave me that opportunity to read the Bible. Good news Bible by them. But have you ever read what the pastor tells you to read? When you reach home, let us be sincere. When they tell you verse number one, this thing, you just read in the church only that line and then listen to the pastor. That is why what has made the false pastors, false prophets to thrive. Almost all these religions are coming out because we don't read. And when you read, you don't comprehend. After reading, there is comprehending. There is making analysis. The constitution of the organization. Have you ever read it? When you read, people say, my eyes are not seeing, I want to listen. That's why we don't even concentrate. Somebody sleeping on the street, in a ghetto, everything is noisy. You can't read from such an environment. Hide somewhere and read and comprehend. Are you getting me? After reading, make notes, and some you read and practice. What you read, practice it. Especially when you read, you don't practice. You don't put into use. The reason why some pupils or students fail exams, after reading, if they toil to read, they don't put it in practice. Remember when we were in second, we used to call our friends even certain names. You Bansani Bana, you Jamotrewa. You look like even teacher used to name them, those especially big words, such that we can remind our brains some points, not abusing them. It was a kind of reminding ourselves what we have read. So don't read a text and put it there. You read, comprehend, and then decode. Are we together? So the vocabularies depends on what you are reading and whom you are communicating. When I was in primary, I was reading Good News Bible. I couldn't understand King James because I had small vocabulary, a few vocabularies. When I came to secondary, I came to Holy Bible. But now I'm reading King James. Actually, now I can't read Good News, but it looks like boring to me now. Its English is very childish. You find an adult like me reading Good News. It is leaving a lot of details out because it is made for kids. So the same text when I'm giving to you, I change the language of the vocabulary when I'm giving the same text to a kid in every language, not only English. So vocabulary matters a lot. So when you are doing this aptitude test paper 1, they are going to check on the vocabulary. Do you have the vocabulary? Which level of your vocabulary? Somebody might have ended in primary 5, but because of experience, has moved, has talked, preached, that's what has a lot of vocabulary. Of course, when you're beginning to speak the language, you have to make mistakes. I don't know why network is poor. It keeps on breaking. Sorry for that. What, 17 minutes? Now we have gone back to minute 0. Okay. So we shall look at sentence construction and the cohesion. Maybe you know. Some people might not know. If you know, we'll revise, because this is what they're going to ask you. They're going to assess how you construct your sentences. When they're marking this aptitude test, they look at all of this vocabulary. According to your vocabulary, you cannot afford Bachelor of Medicine. According to your vocabulary, maybe you go to education, maybe you go to business. So your vocabulary will also be marked. So your sentences, construction and cohesion also will be marked. Reasoning and background information. How will you reason? The reasoning capacity. You remember when you were in primary, the debates. Father is better than mother. Then some people are supporting father, some people are supporting mother. Water is better than fire. Now you can't engage yourself in such debates. Even in politics, there are some debates you can't engage yourself, depending on your reasoning capacity. What is your reasoning capacity? So these people who are setting these exams, who are going to, they are going to assess your reasoning capacity. Some people told me, me, I can't sit with senior 2 dropouts. For me, I finished senior 6. How can I sit with them? We are going to make the assessment. The reasoning capacity of somebody who finished senior 6 may not be the same as the reasoning capacity of somebody who ended in senior 2. But your reasoning capacity will be assessed. And you might find somebody who ended in senior 2 with a higher reasoning capacity than somebody who has even master's degree. Some of these things are natural, or a combination of natural factors and artificial factors, not one independent factor. So how would you reason? What is your background information? All that will be analyzed. Keeping on being interrupted. I don't know where the problem comes from. Meanwhile, you can send your questions. I'm going to answer them. Because we have about 10 minutes remaining, I'm going to use 5. Then 5, you ask questions. Are you writing? Number 1, we looked at the 6 parts of reading and comprehension. 1, we looked at the recording, fluency in the language, vocabulary use, sentence construction and cohesion. Give an example. If you are, let us look at Ugandan politics as an example. When we begin to reason, I can know that your background information is NUP or NRM or intermediate. And there are sometimes of discussion have been interrupted. There have been one information you have, you decide. Have been interrupted. There have been one information you have, you decide. So you might be wanting maybe to the Bachelor of Medicine, but your reasoning capacity would be to the Bachelor of Medicine, but your reasoning capacity would be low standard. So they will not give you that course because of your reasoning capacity and background information. For example, somebody may have finished senior 4 and maybe worked in the hospital for so many years. We have even traditional birth attendants. The last one is working memory and attention. How you memorize some issues. So you may not memorize everything. That's why you need to write. I know some people have not written. Why? Because you are not used to writing. Some people write on paper after the lecture. You throw away the paper. Now we are going to look at the next thing, but before that, we shall look at the three-pass approach. Three-pass approach. Are we together? You people ask questions as I'm giving you about 5 minutes. The three-pass approach and the practice exercise. Sorry, three-pass approach, annotation techniques, identifying main ideas and supporting details. The architecture of paragraphs. We are diving deeper in the evening. Yes, in the evening, I'll look at the three-pass approach, annotation techniques, architecture of paragraphs, and practice exercise. I'll give you a coursework today. Yeah, today. So is there any question? Please ask a question. If not, we can go off here. Yes. We can go to the bursary group. We're not asking questions here. And